What's up, BlueTube? It's your boy, the Blu-ray Bandit. I bought a fairly large collection of Blu-rays and 4Ks off eBay. It's 109 titles. I paid $455. That's a per title average of $4.25 each. That's a few dollars more than I would typically pay per Blu-ray, but the vast majority of this collection are 4K, and that is a killer price for a used 4K. We've got a lot to cover. We're going to start with the Blu-rays, starting with this collection, the Daniel Craig collection. I really enjoy the Daniel Craig Bond movies. I've always wanted to own all of them. I actually already do own them on 4K, except for the last film. This one also does not contain that movie. I'm going to resell it to help pay for the titles I plan on keeping. Another set, this is the Mission Impossible 6 movie collection. I already own this collection on Blu-ray, but my copy is brand new and sealed. And so I'm basically just going to put this on my shelf and sell my sealed collection. This is the Harry Potter 8 film collection, yet another series that I already own on Blu-ray. This exact collection, all the titles are here. Correction, I already own this on 4K, so I'm going to resell this Blu-ray collection to help pay for titles I plan on keeping. Another collection, this is the Die Hard collection. Supposedly none of these have digital codes inside of them, but we'll see if maybe one or two were missed. I enjoy the Die Hard series for the most part. I enjoy 1, 2, and 3. The others, Live Free or Die Hard or A Good Day to Die Hard. I could take or leave. The Godfather Trilogy, another collection that I already have on Blu-ray format. I'm trying to find the 4K collection out in the wild. I don't want to pay what retailers are asking currently. Another Blu-ray set I already own, gonna resell it. The Stallone collection of the Rocky films. This is the heavyweight collection. I certainly enjoy the Rocky films. The first couple are good pieces of art, I would say. Good films. They got a little silly later on in the series and then brought it all back with Rocky Balboa, the kind of pre-Creed reboot series. I do not own all of these on Blu-ray. I think I have Rocky 1, 2, and 3. I have a couple of the Rocky films on Blu-ray. I'm going to resell those and keep these for my collection and add a few titles in the process. Yet another set. This is the Ocean's 11 triple feature with Ocean's 12 and Ocean's 13, the entire series, if you don't count Ocean's 8. I actually already own this collection on Blu-ray, but it takes up considerably more space on my shelf. I mean, it's got a sweet little box and all the individual titles, but it just takes up too much room on the shelf. I'm going to swap it out for this compact collection. This is the Taken collection, all 3 Taken movies in one Blu-ray sized compact form. I don't believe I own any of the Taken films on Blu-ray, so I'm going to add this one to the collection. And the last of the Blu-ray sets, this is the Lethal Weapon series. You've got all 4 movies with a nice little slipcase. All the discs are present. They're in this stacked format instead of the plastic inserts. I already own this exact same version. It's sitting on my shelf, but the version on my shelf is still brand new and sealed. So I'm going to swap out this used version for the new version and resell the new version. Now we're into the single Blu-ray titles. This is Tom Hanks' Green Mile, a movie I already own on Blu-ray. A great movie, a great drama, but I'm going to resell it because I already own it. Next up is Interstellar, the Christopher Nolan movie starring Matthew McConaughey, Anne Hathaway, Jessica Chastain, and Michael Caine. What a crew. Another movie I already own, so I'm going to resell this one to help pay for titles I plan on keeping. And here we have the Best Picture Oscar winner, Parasite, a movie I already own on 4K, a great little thriller. If you haven't seen it, I'd be shocked. And if you haven't seen it, you should definitely look it up and check it out. I'm reselling this one because I already own it in 4K. It's time for Looper, another movie I already own in 4K. It's a weird, twisty time travel movie, I would say. Kind of an oddity in the filmography of Rian Johnson, who most recently directed the Knives Out movies. Reselling, I already have the 4K upgrade. Collateral, one of the rare Tom Cruise movies where he's actually the villain of the film. In this case, Jamie Foxx is the quote-unquote hero. This case is pretty scratched up, so I'm going to replace it before I flip it because I already have the 4K version. District 9, a Neil Blomkamp movie, kind of shot documentary style, super fun. I already own the 4K version, so I'm going to resell this one to help pay for that one. Enemy of the State, one of my favorite Will Smith action films, also starring Gene Hackman, an actor I definitely miss at this point. Haven't seen him in a movie in quite a while. Did he pass away? I don't remember. Regardless, I already own this on Blu-ray, so this one's got to go. The Wolf of Wall Street, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, directed by Martin Scorsese, a truly hilarious film. Oddly, the Boston Herald considered it the best film of the year, a masterpiece. I think I might agree. However, I don't agree to keep this in my collection because I already have it on 4K. Here we go with The Shawshank Redemption, starring Tim Robbins, Morgan Freeman, and a really busted Blu-ray case. I mean, this case is way busted. It even has cut the insert. I'm not sure I'm even comfortable reselling this title. Maybe I'll just pull the disc and take it up to the cabin. I can't even reshut it. Inglourious Bastards, Tarantino's riff on the Nazis. Super fun movie, pretty graphic, but which Tarantino movies aren't? I already own it on 4K, so this one's going bye-bye. Live, Die, Repeat, one of my favorite Tom Cruise movies of recent memory. Also stars Emily Blunt. This is another one with like a really super cracked up case, but it doesn't look like it's affected the insert much. So I'm just going to replace the case and then resell it because I already own this on 4K. Live, Die, Repeat, one of my favorite Tom Cruise movies of recent memory. Also stars Emily Blunt. This is another one with like a really super cracked up case, but it doesn't look like it's affected the insert much. So I'm just going to replace the case and then resell it because I already own this on 4K. And here we have Live, Die, Repeat. Just kidding. And finally, before we get into the 4Ks, we have Drive by Nicholas Winding Refn. I don't remember if I have this on Blu-ray. I definitely don't have the 4K. I think that came out on Boutique Blu-ray. So in order to track that down, I'm probably going to have to pay a premium. But I think I might already have this on Blu-ray. I don't remember. If I don't, I'm going to add it to the shelf. If I do already have it, I'm going to sell this one to pay for some of the titles in this haul I plan on keeping. It's time to talk about some of these 4Ks, starting with these heavy hitters. You've got Jerry Maguire, A League of Their Own, Gandhi, and Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. The reason why I'm isolating these first is because these are titles that you cannot buy on the resale market individually. Typically, the only way you're able to buy these is if people part out their Columbia Classics Volume 1 set. Now, that set is ridiculously expensive. It's long out of print. It cost $165 retail when it was released in 2020. That set now sells for roughly $750 new and roughly $450 used. That set has 6 titles in it, so I only have 4 of the titles here. The other 2 titles were not in this eBay haul. The 2 that are missing are Dr. Strangelove and Lawrence of Arabia. Let's talk prices. Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, you can find on individual 4K digibook. That'll run you about $10. Not too bad. This normal case copy runs about $40 on eBay without the slipcover. Gandhi without the slipcover runs about $30 on eBay. This one is really hard to tell. I can't find a recent sale of this title on eBay without the slipcover, but I've seen A League of Their Own sell on eBay for upwards of $300 with the slipcover. I'm going to give it an estimated value just to be safe. Without the slipcover, let's just say $30, just for the sake of estimation. I think it's worth much more than that, but let's say $30. I can almost guarantee you I can get $30 plus for this. And then we have Jerry Maguire, another title I could not find a recent sale without slipcover to use as its estimated value. With slipcover, we're looking at $75. With A League of Their Own and Jerry Maguire, there are none out there without the slipcover. I'm going to give them both $30 estimated value because I'm 99.9% sure I could at least get $30. If not, maybe even double that. Who knows? Regardless, I would love to have the entire Columbia Classics Volume 1. This will have to be the best I can do for now. Here's a pair of 4Ks. We've got the original Creed and Creed 2. Creed is a movie that I definitely enjoy. I think it was in my top films for that year. I think it was definitely a worthy reboot of the Rocky series, for sure, and kind of put Michael B. Jordan on the map for me. Creed 2, I was definitely more mixed on, but I do not own this in 4K. So I already owned Creed. My copy is sealed. I'm going to put this one on my shelf and sell the sealed copy. I did not own Creed 2. And so this kind of completes the 4K collection for me. Another completion of a collection. We've got It and It Chapter 2. Two scary movies. I really enjoy It. In fact, I already own this on 4K, but my copy is still sealed. So again, I'm going to replace it with this open copy and resell my sealed copy. I did not own It Chapter 2, so this is a brand new addition to the collection. Both of them added to the shelf. This one was odd in this collection. It's two copies of Mad Max from Kino Lorber, both in 4K. One had the slipcover, but when you take off the slipcover, it's a little different, right? For some reason, the cover art is a little different. I wonder if they're interchangeable. Let's see. Nope, not interchangeable. I don't know why there's two different versions of Mad Max. Maybe one's a limited edition and one's not. I have no clue why somebody would buy two versions of Mad Max. I already own this on 4K in my Mad Max collection with all of the other films, including Fury Road. So I'm going to resell these to help pay for some of the titles in this lot I plan on keeping. Here we have a classic 80s comedy. This is Do the Right Thing from Spike Lee, a movie that I very much enjoy, so much so that I already own this on Criterion, but it's normal Blu-ray. So this is probably a better picture quality than the Criterion version, but I'm pretty sure there's also a 4K Criterion version out there that I don't have. So for now, I think I'm just going to keep this and the Criterion Blu-ray. Here's a movie I'm adding to my collection. This is A Few Good Men. I don't own this movie in Blu-ray or 4K. It's a movie I definitely enjoy and I definitely need to revisit. Ooh, lots of dust on this one. I think all of these are going to need cleaning on some level. But yeah, a good drama starring Tom Cruise, Jack Nicholson, and Demi Moore. It's going on the shelf. Black Klansman, another Spike Lee movie, and one that I definitely enjoyed the one time I saw it in a movie theater. I already own this movie on Blu-ray, but I didn't own it on 4K, so this one's an upgrade. Stand By Me, a classic coming-of-age movie from the late 80s and a movie that I already own on 4K. My copy is brand new and sealed, and I don't think it has a slipcover, so I'm going to steal the slipcover from this one, keep the used version, and sell my brand new version. Logan, a movie that I've probably sold 5 or 6 times on 4K. It is a very consistent seller and regularly fetches a good return for sure. And I'm going to flip this movie one more time. Predator. This is the original Predator with Arnold Schwarzenegger, the movie that kind of broke him out into the mainstream. It was between this and the first Terminator movie. Although I believe Predator was actually a bigger hit for him. Then the Terminator series took over once Terminator 2 was released. I already own this 4K in the Predator set, so this one's getting resold. The Fifth Element, another sci-fi movie, this one from the 90s, starring Bruce Willis and directed by Luc Besson. Another one I already own on 4K, but my copy on the shelf is sealed. So I'm going to throw this one in its place and sell the sealed copy. Baby Driver, another film directed by Edgar Wright. All you need is one killer track. I really enjoy the editing in this movie, the way they edit the bank heists and action scenes to the beat of the music and the soundtrack. It's almost enough to get me past having to look at Kevin Spacey for any length of time on the screen. I already own this on 4K. My version is used, so this is just a simple resell. Moonlight, an A24 movie and the Academy Award winner for Best Picture. I already own this on Blu-ray, did not have the 4K, and I'm super excited to make the upgrade to 4K with Moonlight. Those of you longtime viewers of the channel know that I'm on a quest to acquire every movie that A24 has released, whether I like the movie or not. Moonlight, like I said, I already had, but I'm making the upgrade. Oblivion, a 4K title starring Tom Cruise and Morgan Freeman that I already own. My copy on the shelf is brand new and sealed, and so I'm going to sell that version and throw this one on the shelf. That way, I don't have to feel guilty the next time I watch it because I got to open a new one. Source Code. I didn't even know this was out on 4K. This is a fun movie. It's from Duncan Jones, director of Moon, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. Source Code, not so much. Not that I have a problem with it, but it's pretty much your standard thriller, I would say. Standard low-budget thriller. I do like the looping nature of the film, but I like those kinds of movies anyway. You know, like The Edge of Tomorrows and The Groundhog Days, those types of movies. Source Code definitely fits within that genre. Maybe not quality level up to par, but generally within that genre. Don't believe I even had this on Blu-ray, so it's a brand new addition to the collection on the 4K shelf. Wizard of Oz in beautiful, shiny slipcover. This is a classic. I'm sure you've seen it, if not heard of it. Hopefully you've heard of it. I can't imagine there's too many of you out there that haven't heard of it. This is a top 100 movie for me, top 100 of all time. You got the Blu-ray and the 4K. I'm not too obsessive about getting the classics in my 4K collection, but out of the ones that I really wanted, this was top of the list, and now I own it for about $4.25. Unforgiven. Don't believe this is a top 100 movie for me, but it might be a top 250. It's definitely a really good Western and an Academy Award winner for Best Picture. I don't even think this has been out on 4K very long, maybe a year or so. But yeah, Westerns are one of my favorite genres. This is definitely one of the best. I'm keeping it. Warrior, a boxing movie with a great cast. Tom Hardy, Joel Edgerton, and Nick Nolte with slipcover. A movie that I have owned on Blu-ray in several different iterations, but haven't had the 4K before, and now I do, because I'm going to add this one to the collection. 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. A great drama starring Frances McDormand, Woody Harrelson, and Sam Rockwell. It's a very Coen-esque movie, even though it was not directed by the Coen brothers. It was directed by Martin McDonough. It's kind of a dour, depressing, sour movie. It's kind of a revenge movie, but not a violent revenge movie. Yeah, it's a tough watch. I'm not sure I'll ever want to watch this again, but I did enjoy it. So I'm going to add it to the collection, and who knows, maybe I'll get back to it someday. Let's talk about some Disney films. We've got the Toy Story, Toy Story 2, Toy Story 3 trilogy. Now, I know there's a Toy Story 4. That was not in this collection, nor do I own it. In fact, I don't own any of these on Blu-ray or 4K. I'm having a hard time squaring owning Disney movies on physical media because they are on Disney Plus. There's very little chance that Disney Plus is going away anytime soon. It's relatively cheap to access nearly the entire Disney library. It's not like these are rare movies whatsoever. I might as well resell them, right? Right? Should I resell them? I'm going to resell them. Again, classic Disney films. You've got The Little Mermaid and Aladdin and The Lion King. These two with slipcovers. These two movies are actually top 250 movies for me. Lion King, I know lots of people have nostalgic love for Lion King. I don't really care about the movie. It's fine. I enjoy it, but I have no big connection with it. So this one's definitely going to go. And these two I'm debating keeping. I'm not sure I'll ever find them for as low as $4.25 each, especially in this condition. Keep these or sell them. Let me know in the comments. Lord of War, starring Nicolas Cage, Jared Leto, and Ethan Hawke, a movie I've seen and remember literally nothing about. This is the 4K version. I've never even owned it on Blu-ray. I'm not sure I even care to own it, but I kind of want to give it one rewatch before I flip it on eBay. Yep, I'm definitely going to do that. Philadelphia, a great drama I haven't seen in quite a while, and really I've only seen it once. I think I watched it in the early 2000s and really enjoyed all the performances. This one stars Tom Hanks and Denzel Washington. It's a courtroom drama. I actually bought it about a year ago on 4K. My copy is still sealed on the shelves. This one's going on the shelf. That one's going on eBay. Here we have the very first Batman movie. Maybe not the very first, but the Jack Nicholson, Michael Keaton, Kim Basinger Batman movie. This is definitely an 80s classic, really the movie that ushered in the home video craze back in the 80s. A super fun movie. Definitely a different take than Christopher Nolan's movies. For my money, these were a better balance of darkness and comedy than the Christian Bale Batman movies. I still love those. They're just very different than this 80s sequence of Batman movies. I like them for different reasons. I even like them enough to already own this on 4K, so this one's getting flipped. This one is Rambo First Blood, starring Sylvester with digital copy. At least one of them had a digital copy. Yeah, this is a pretty crazy movie, I would say, even for the 80s. It's hyper violent, and it was quite a departure considering Sylvester Stallone had kind of been known for Rocky, which wasn't exactly an action movie. I think this was him attempting to get into action movies. I don't own it in any capacity, so I'm going to add it to my ever-growing Stallone collection. Here we have the classic Halloween, John Carpenter's Halloween, starring Jamie Lee Curtis, the night he came home. I don't own this 4K. This is pretty much the only Halloween movie that I'd like to own because it is a classic of low-budget horror filmmaking. It's a movie I quite enjoy. The rest of them are silly fun, but this is really the only one that I need to own. Next up, we've got Hacksaw Ridge, directed by Mel Gibson, the director of Passion of the Christ and the Academy Award-winning Braveheart. He's also famous for some other things, but we won't talk about that right now. Yeah, this title regularly goes on sale on Amazon for like $7.99. It may have even been cheaper than that at some point. I already own a copy of this. My copy is already opened, so I'm going to flip this. Hopefully I can get $4.25 for it. We'll see. Here's a 4K I don't own, and I'm happy to add to my shelves for sure. This is Starship Troopers, the 20th anniversary version. I love this movie. It's an odd one. It's definitely a weird sci-fi movie, very cheesy, directed by Paul Verhoeven, director of other weird sci-fi classics like Total Recall, which I also got in this collection. This is the 30th anniversary version. So there's a bunch of discs in here. You've got the original Blu-ray, you've got the supplemental Blu-ray, and then you've got the 4K disc of Total Recall. Between this and Starship Troopers, I think I've maybe gotten all of the Paul Verhoeven movies that I need to own. Are there any that I'm missing that are great? Let me know in the comments. Here we go with 300. I already own this on 4K, but my version is sealed and without the slipcover. So I'm going to add this version of this Zack Snyder movie, maybe my second favorite of his films, behind his Dawn of the Dead remake. I'm going to add this to the shelf and sell my sealed copy. Another title I already own on 4K, swapping out this classic Tom Cruise action film, sealed version for used version. The sealed version should pay for this copy as well as maybe another one or two that I plan on keeping. Yet another movie I already own. This is Jordan Peele's Us. I loved Us. I hope we get a sequel someday. Who knows if that day will ever come. I already own this on 4K. My copy is sealed. My copy doesn't have the slipcover, so I'm going to put this used version on my shelf with the slipcover and sell the sealed version. Finally, a 4K I didn't already own. This one's getting added to the collection. It's going to sit right next to the original A Quiet Place film. I really enjoyed the first A Quiet Place film. Part 2 was fine, but seemed a little, I don't know what the word is, unfocused maybe? It still had a couple of good frights. I think its biggest issue is that John Krasinski, his character, is already dead when this movie happens. So he's in this one through a series of flashbacks, blah, 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 blah. I'm keeping it. Deer Hunter on 4K, the classic 70s film. This one is on Shout Select, so this is considered a boutique Blu-ray. I already own this. My copy is still sealed, and I was tempted to open it several times, and now I'm glad I didn't because I'm going to keep this open version, and I'm going to resell my sealed copy, which should do all right on the resale market because not only is it sealed, but this is a boutique Blu-ray added to the shelf. Here we've got the Matrix sequels, Matrix Reloaded and Matrix Revolutions. For some reason, the original Matrix was not in this collection. Not sure how these are going to do on resale, it being the two Matrix movies that people don't prefer, but we'll see. I'm going to give it a shot. I already own the trilogy. These are going up on eBay. And we are getting close to the end here. This is the Star Trek Trilogy Kelvin timeline. So the 3 movies from the recent Star Trek reboot series, Star Trek Into Darkness and Beyond. I already own this exact collection, but my copy is sealed on the shelf, so this one's going to replace it. Another collection that is sealed on my shelf, but already open. This is the Planet of the Apes trilogy. I was super excited that they announced a 4th Planet of the Apes film in the works. I love these movies. Even War, which isn't a perfect movie for sure, has something to say and incredible acting considering you're watching digital characters for the most part for a good 2 hours of a Holocaust allegory. I was very impressed with this entire trilogy. I'm going to put this used copy on my shelf and sell the sealed version. And finally, we've got the Hunger Games complete 4-film collection. This one I was looking for used for the longest time. I couldn't seem to find it for a good price, and then eventually on Amazon they popped up for $10 each. I bought all 4 titles individually without this big cardboard collection slipcover. Fortunately, I haven't opened a single one, so I'm going to sell them as a set, all together, brand new, and put this used copy on my shelf. All right, here it is, the complete collection, 109 titles. I paid $455. That's a per title average of $4.25 each, and a total estimated value of $937. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment for the YouTube algorithm. If you made it this far, I appreciate it. You're a champion. Show me the money. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Until then, goodbye.